Disclaimer: this video may contain some images, articles, and other references copyrighted by another entity or person. Credits shall be given to the rightful owner of the materials taken from open source, and this video claims no copyright to the said content. This is used for educational purpose only.
Our chosen news article is entitled "Teacher's Lap Had Nothing to Do with Student Death" based on its autopsy report. This news is featured by Philstar Global, and this news article is made by Christina Chi. Issued this day of October 12, 2023, 2:04 a.m. This is the latest article about this topic, but this issue happened 4 weeks ago. In this video, we will discuss the main topic of this article, if this article is stating facts. Also, we will discuss the key points of this article, such as the real cause why the student died and important information that should be shared for us to be able to be aware about this case. According to the education authorities in the Philippines, said on Tuesday, they had launched investigations after a 14-year-old grade school student died after a teacher allegedly slapped him in the classroom. The student name is Francis J. Gumikib, a student at Penifrancia Elementary School in Antipolo City, east of Manila. He was slapped by his teacher on September 20. The boy's mother, Elena Mingoy, alleged in radio interviews. She said her son was still able to go to school for 3 days, but on September 26, he started vomiting and complaining about intense pain and loss of balance. Francis was admitted to the intensive care unit of the government-run Amang Rodriguez General Hospital, where he died on Monday morning. But the real cause why the student died is cerebral edema secondary to intracerebral hemorrhage consistent with a ruptured artery with arteriovenous malformation, Manongdo said. Based on our research, cerebral edema is the swelling of the brain due to the accumulation of fluid.
This article contains credible source, and for more information, research other sources that prove that the teacher is responsible for the child's death. And the teacher should face punishment because of her action. 2 other ongoing independent probes into the incident are being conducted by the Department of Education and the Commission of Human Rights. According to Attorney Chel Diokno, the teacher might face a lot of punishment such as Deaf Child Protection Policy, Dept Order Number 04012. Based from this policy, it is prohibited that they cannot allow violence against children in school, either physical or psychological violence. Also, the possible punishment or administrative offense of misconduct that the teacher might face dismissal or some moving license. To the other teachers, the teacher who is responsible for doing violence can be reported here. On DepEd Regional and Division Office since 2012, DepEd has forbidden the use of corporal punishment to discipline a student and also requires a zero-tolerance policy for all acts of child abuse, exploitation, violence, discrimination, bullying, and other forms of abuse.
The medical legal report showed that Gumikib had been born with a rare condition that would have eventually brought health implications, Manongdo said, the Antipolo Police Chief. Based on our analysis and this news article, the teacher is part of the reason why the student died. Why? Because based on the account of the student to his mother, the 14-year-old was reportedly slapped by his teacher after being scolded for the noise being made by his classmates during a test. The Penifrancia Spring Valley Elementary School teacher had allegedly pulled on his collar, pulled his hair, and slapped him. Based from the interview of the student's mother, my son told me that after he was slapped, he temporarily went deaf. He also told me my ears hurt now. Since the cause of death of the student is cerebral edema, which is a swelling that occurs with the brain, often following a traumatic brain injury, there is a big possibility that the teacher triggered the health complication of the student that leads to his death. And according to what police said, there are no doubts about whether Gumikib was actually slapped by his teacher, the police chief said. Also, based from the autopsy of his body, we proved that he was slapped, no question. Sufficient evidence and testimonies were provided to us, and these are all corroborated. Manongda said, as I observed in this case, there is no bias happening because they are trying their best to solve the case. As per this case omission, their words are left out of spoken words. The Antipolo City Police Station on Thursday said it needs to go signal of the 5th grader family before it can file a child abuse complaint against the teacher who slapped the students in school. Antipolo Police Chief Lieutenant Colonel Ryan Onongdo said they are prepared to complain based on Republic Act 7610 or the Special Protection of Children Against Abuse, Exploitation, and Discrimination Act. The Department of Education ordered a 90-day preventive suspension against Gumikib's teacher last October 10. What the teacher did was against the law because it harmed the students, so the teacher really needs to face the punishment.
The impact to the audience is mixed emotion and mixed opinion. Like, some people discriminate to teachers and get angry because of the action that they do to her student, while other audience think that why the teachers do the things to her student, why the student gets slapped. Maybe the student do some wrong things or do some wrong stuff so that the teachers get mad at him and the teacher slap her student. Also, many people get argued that the action of the teacher is right because before, that's what our teachers do when we do some wrong things and punish us and make us not do it again. But in the legal definition, the teacher is wrong because her action is illegal to our rights, so that the Antipolo City Police will be filing a complaint against the teacher for their alleged violation of Republic Act 7610 or the Special Protection of Children Against Abuse, Exploitation, and Discrimination Act. The teacher has been placed on a 90 days preventive suspension without pay pending the investigation against her by DepEd, and if the teacher finds that she is guilty, the teacher will suffer a penalty of arresto mayor in its maximum period, that fine of not less than 5,000 pesos, 5,000 pesos, more than 10,000 pesos, or else the minimum prison term shall be reduced to 12 years and 1 day, while the maximum term shall be adjusted to 15 years and 6 months and 21 days.
According to the interpretation of the medical doctor and the forensic unit of Rizal, they explained to the whole family of the student the real reason why the student died based on their investigation. Yes, the teacher slapped the student and that's the result of police investigation. The question of many people who's interested in this issue is if the slap is the reason of the child's death. The answer is it is proved by the autopsy report that it has nothing to do with the Gumikib's death. We all know that it is wrong to use violence to a younger because you want to discipline them. You should call youngsters with a gentle voice because they're still somehow sensitive if you raise your voice to them. Furthermore, for you to be a teacher, it takes a lot of patience in managing a lot of stuff to them. But as of for 5th graders, it's truly wrong to use violence. As for media literacy, a lot of articles are spread about this issue and a lot of people and authors have different opinions about this. A lot of people say that it is the teacher's fault and other people say that the teacher is the reason why they didn't. People have different perspective about this issue. If it is proved that the teacher had nothing to do with the student death, she still needs to face punishment because the teacher did something who is against the law. She's using violence just to discipline